Hello, this is Rick Money with the Riverdale Report. We take a time jump in this episode, fast forwarding 7 years from last week's high school graduation. Archie has been having nightmares of war. He wakes up in the infirmary and his superior officer is transferring the now known as Sergeant Andrews home to revive the dormant ROTC program at Riverdale High. Archie's first stop is Pop's Diner, where a beautiful waitress who we find out is Tabitha Tate, that's Pop's granddaughter, who is being played by Bree from Glee. And that person's name is Erin Westbrook. So she directs Archie downstairs from Pop's Diner, and we go down to the White Room, and we see a pregnant Tony Topaz is doing a cabaret act with dancers holding up snakes. Well, because we learn that Tony Topaz, the pregnant Tony Topaz, is the Serpent Queen. This song that Tony is slithering, shimmying, and singing to with fellow serpents Fangs and Sweet Pea is from the film From Dusk Till Dawn. The song is After Dark. This was an homage to Salma Hayek's Sultry Snake Dance. Vanessa Morgan, who plays Tony Topaz, was actually pregnant when this was being filmed and has given birth to a son. Miss Morgan put a nice maternity burlesque twist to this snake dance. The serpents are now running the cabaret that is under Pop's Diner. And now we switch over to Betty. Betty, we find out, is a Fed. She is an FBI trainee. And like Archie, she's suffering from post-traumatic stress. Somehow, she's messed up in the case of the trash bag killer. Betty was supposed to call for backup, but being Betty and being arrogant, as she said, I've solved serial killer murders when I was in high school. But this was a little bit different. Betty finds herself captured for 2 weeks, and we don't know what the trash bag killer did to poor Betty. Do you like acronyms? We have in wrestling HBK, that stands for Heartbreak Kid. Well, in Riverdale, we have TBK. And TBK stands for the Trash Bag Killer. Ooh, ooh, you think I'm sexy? The Trash Bag Killer. I'll put a glad bag on your head. Veronica is living the glamorous life now in New York, Upper East Side. Woo-wee. Wonder if she's next door to the Jeffersons. Well, up on the Upper East Side in this posh place that she's living in, we find out that Veronica is the former she-wolf of Wall Street. And her husband is a broker too. So there was some sort of accident that we learn about. And she's supposed to be working at Lacey's now. That's supposed to be a little more relaxing for her after the accident. But she's been lying to her broker, her hubby, Chad. Chad. But she's really gone full uncut gems. She has channeled the spirit of Howie, a.k.a. Adam Sandler from Uncut Gems, selling jewelry to the stars. Chad finds out about the lie, and he is not pleased. And Veronica tells them that she's okay and that she needs to do some kind of work. And Lacey's work just wasn't challenging enough for her. So now we also find out that it was a helicopter crash that her and Chad, that her and Chad were in, and they both survived it. But Chad is worried about his wife. But Veronica, being Veronica, wants to do what she wants to do. She needs excitement. To make up for being, I guess he felt, an overbearing husband, he gives Veronica a Glaberger egg, which she promptly sells the next day at her shop. Now that's pretty cold-blooded. Jughead is in Alphabet City, looking like Oscar Madison from The Odd Couple, in a junky apartment, but he has a hot girlfriend who leaves him because he's not paying her any mind. He has writer block, and she's obviously a writer because she says she has writer block too. Jughead goes to meet with his agent, and we find out that Jughead was a big writer. He had one big hit, but now his agent's telling him he's a one-hit wonder. He can't even get a job as a reporter at the New Yorker because he's a writer, not a reporter. And they're saying basically like Jughead's almost like poison. Jughead was such a great writer in the 7 years since we've last seen him that they had him in like some sort of Brat Pack sort of deal. Jughead is acting like a tortured writer, like he's Ernest Hemingway, or he's Jack Kerouac, or he's Rick Money. Jughead, after his meeting with his agent, goes to a bar to get drunk. He goes to get tore up to forget his problems, I guess. And he is spotted by what he thinks is a fan. She pulls out his book, but it turns out that this graduate student from NYU is actually using Jughead because of the fact that she pulls her manuscript out. And she's like, hey, by the way, can you look at my manuscript? And Jughead looks all shocked, like, I thought you were having hot sex with me because of the fact that you just wanted me because I'm Jughead Jones. While all this is going on, Jughead gets a knock on the door. It's the debt collectors. These are some of the most dangerous debt collectors I've ever seen. You know, obviously he owes more than some money on his Sears card. Beautiful writer who is using her charms to get to Jughead goes and diffuses the situation, and she runs interference for Jughead so that way he won't get, beat up by these debt collectors. But she does tell him, if you don't read my book, I'm going to get those debt collectors and I'm going to tell them where you are. Luckily for Jughead, that's when the call from Archie comes, and Jughead beats it out of New York City and he goes to nice, safe Riverdale. Here's what we know so far in Riverdale. Tony Topaz is the Serpent Queen, but she doubles as a guidance counselor at Riverdale High. Kevin is, surprise, 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 he is the drama teacher at Riverdale High. Kevin also is one of the only people whose relationship lasted the whole 7 years. Find out that Reggie is now an enforcer for Hiram Lodge's mob. Hiram Lodge has turned Riverdale into hell on earth now, on a lonely highway. And why would he turn it? And why would Hiram turn it into a lonely highway? Because he wants to build a freeway right through Riverdale to get to Sodale, his new, pricey, luxurious development for the ultra rich, meaning lots of money for Mr. Hiram Lodge. Tony Topaz takes Sergeant Andrews on a tour of Riverdale. Everything's burnt out. The fire department, burnt out. The bus station, well, it wasn't a bus station. It's actually like a little bus shelter like you would see like on 52nd and Market or something like that. Well, that's all burnt out too. So it's not even a place to sit. But it didn't matter because the buses don't even stop in Riverdale anymore because Riverdale's so shot out. Because Riverdale has become very dangerous, they said, at night. Even the truck drivers don't want to stop in Riverdale at night. We also see a nice blonde-haired girl leaving Pops. She's sick of working in Riverdale, and she is leaving town. And, of course, she's hitchhiking, and it's a trash truck that's coming through. So welcome to Riverdale TBK. Ooh, ooh. TBK is here. Time for some trash bag killings. This is Rick Money, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace until I see you in Riverdale next week.